This generation of Subaru Legacy Outback has been around for over 7 years, and there have been many reviews of it, both on-road and off-road. So I decided to make this review a bit different one. When you think of the Outback, you might imagine that it is driven by a sensible, family-oriented, outdoorsy person in his or her 30s or 40s. But what if the Outback is the first car you get to drive daily drive after passing your driving test and getting a license? Let's find out. This particular Outback is a year 2010 base model and is currently 6 years old. Well, the first car you get to daily drive, you want it to be powerful, stable at fast speeds, and quick from 0 to 60 miles per hour. That is exactly the opposite of what your mom wants. She wants you to be safe, slow, and have an all-wheel drive in case of bad weather conditions like these. So, the Subaru family wagon does fit great. And as much as you would love to drive better an E36 BMW at first, later on you understand how thankful you are to your family and the Subaru Outback for the all-wheel drive, because it can really save you from a potential accident when you screw up. I can tell you that. So what was the question again? Oh yeah, right. This Outback has a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, turbocharged boxer diesel engine that produces 110 kilowatts at 3600 RPM and 350 Newton meters of torque between 1800 and 2400 RPM. But the big question is it enough for such a heavy car? I mean, on its own, it weighs over 1.65 tons. Let's find out. I have to say that it pulls hard and makes a hell of a good noise. However, the performance figures tell us that it gets from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 9.7 seconds, which isn't really fast. Okay, honestly, the engine isn't as loud as that. I did insert a microphone in the engine bay. And of course, you do hear less of transit van diesel noise when idling. I'm actually surprised. It doesn't sound like a transit van, nor in the cabin, nor outside. What it does sound like when accelerating in cabin is this. The 2-liter diesel is the smallest engine available for the Outback. Other engine options for European models are a 2.5-liter flat 4 or a 3.6-liter flat 6. While the 2.5-liter petrol produces 13 more kilowatts, the 2-liter diesel offers more torque and a reduced thrust of around 2 liters per 100 kilometers. In city, when accelerating from being stationary after the light turns green, to keep up with the traffic, you have to change gears later on than you would do in other cars. That does ruin the fuel efficiency a bit, but it is more fun because of the manual gearbox and the noise. Talking about the noise, this car is very loud even when stock. You don't hear much of the exhaust note, but the engine roar does sound nice. Of course, everything isn't that good in the world of Outback. If you're sitting in a traffic jam, the manual gearbox and the heavy clutch makes it very exhausting. I have to say that the front low beams are too dim for driving at night, and without the front fog lights, it would be impossible to see anything on the road. Overall, the Outback is a nice and comfortable but not easy car to daily drive. Under its good-looking, even pretty exterior, hides an off-road capable beast.